This summer, over 13,000 candidates completed a Brightapply interview. A faster, fairer, AI-powered application experience that can cut screening time by 85%. I'm Olivia Sanchez, and I lead the product team at Bright Network, the UK's leading early talent platform with over 1 million members and hundreds of top employers. For more than a decade, we've sat at the heart of the early careers ecosystem, balancing the needs of employers and candidates. And that gives us a unique point of view. Great hiring happens when you improve the experience and outcomes for both sides. But in early careers and volume hiring more broadly, applications have exploded and hiring is broken. But the real bottleneck isn't identifying top talent, because hiring teams are actually really good at that. The bottleneck is getting to the point where you can. One employer told us they screened 3,000 applicants for 10 roles, and the only question they ever wanted an answer to was, who should I actually speak to? And right now, the only reliable way to get to that level of insight, to really understand motivation, potential, eligibility, is through a human screening call, and those simply don't scale. So teams fall back on generic forms, inconsistent manual triage, and increasingly, blunt uses of AI that keyword check without genuine context. But here's the honest truth. Teams aren't drowning in candidates, they're drowning in not knowing who to spend time on. They don't need more applicants, they need deeper insight so they can confidently screen out the bottom X% and focus human time on the candidates who really matter. So, when we started Brightapply, we knew solving this challenge meant getting one thing absolutely right: the quality of the conversation itself. So for over a year, we've been working hand in hand with employers and candidates to get it right, because none of the existing approaches give you the depth or confidence you need to cut through high volumes and find real talent. So that's why we built Brightapply, designed to solve for both sides of the market. For employers, it cuts through the noise of mass applications, generic responses, and inconsistent processes, helping you focus on the right talent faster. And for candidates, it replaces endless generic questions with a simple conversational experience that actually lets them show their strengths. And it works for volume hiring in any sector. So what is Brightapply? Not another form, not another chatbot, but genuine conversations screened at scale. So let me show you the real product candidates are using today. Here we're following Sarah as she applies for a role on a job board. That could be any job board. She's welcomed into a chat-based AI interview with a clear briefing and the option to complete a practice interview. That's something that candidates, especially neurodivergent candidates, say is hugely valuable for their confidence. When the interview begins, it feels like a real conversation. Brightapply asks eligibility and competency questions, all fully customizable to the employer and role. It follows up when something isn't clear. It adapts based on her CV and earlier responses, just like a human would. And under the hood, our custom AI is doing something traditional tools can't. It analyzes each response, identifies intent and relevant signals, and then dynamically chooses the next question, just like an experienced recruiter would. It isn't scripted or static, it's genuinely adaptive. And this conversational engine is the part we worked incredibly hard to get right. We spent months refining how the AI follows up, how it probes and adapts, because that's where the real insight comes from. And candidates have told us it feels natural and personal, not generic. So they respond more authentically and less generically, sharing the insight that you need. And we've added the features candidates specifically asked for. They can type or voice transcribe if they prefer.
I'm most excited by the opportunity to lead on creative brand campaigns and be really hands-on with, for example, video creation.
They can see real-time interview notes, so they always know where they are in the process. And they can use a built-in Q&A function using your FAQs. Now let's look at what this means for employers and Bright Apply screening. Every interview comes through with a full transcript, structured AI scoring aligned to your screening framework, transparent reasoning behind each score, eligibility checks, indicators of external AI usage, and seamless ATS integration. We've worked closely with occupational psychologists to ensure that both the questions and the scoring are fair, explainable, and unbiased. And in our alpha phase, we're validating this with parallel blind human review. This isn't a black box. This is complete transparency. You see where a candidate performed well, where they fell short, and perhaps most importantly, the reasoning why. So what you've seen there is the chat-based Bright Apply interview, a format that works brilliantly in early careers and applications where deeper, well-thought-through answers matter. But for other types of applications, especially lighter touch, high-volume hiring, candidates want something which takes less time. So we're developing a fully voice-based version of Bright Apply. It runs the same adaptive contextual interview, but through natural spoken conversation. It feels personal, reduces time to complete, and removes even more friction for candidates. Where chat gives you depth, voice gives you speed, but still with that same rich conversational engine at the heart of it. Voice simply wraps a faster format around that refined conversation. So that's Bright Apply in action. A candidate experience that feels personal and fair, an employer experience that is structured, efficient, and transparent. And the magic is that the same experience that supports candidates is the one that gives employers far richer insight. Because Bright Apply doesn't just improve experience, it transforms the efficiency of screening. It removes hours of manual review. It ensures every candidate is assessed consistently and fairly. It helps teams move to decisions faster. And because it integrates directly with your ATS, it delivers immediate value with no additional setup. Bright Apply lets you confidently screen out the bottom X%, so human judgment can focus where it matters most. And what's unique is that candidates still love it. And that combination, efficiency and user experience, is exactly what shows up in our results. We've heard from hundreds of candidates and have a 4 out of 5 candidate satisfaction score. 95% said it felt like a fair part of the application experience, and 91% said it made them less likely to use AI tools like ChatGPT. And we saw a 75% completion rate, demonstrating healthy self-selection out from candidates who aren't truly engaged. And teams are cutting screening time by up to 85%. So Bright Apply doesn't force you to choose between efficiency and candidate experience. It delivers both. Candidates feel understood, hiring teams get deeper insight, and the whole process becomes faster, fairer, and more scalable. Bright Apply is already live with our first clients on real roles today. As we move towards a wider beta in 2026, we're expanding both the depth and speed of insight across all volume hiring, and we'll keep building in a way that delivers value to both sides of the market. Because the future of hiring isn't just more automation. It's better insights for employers and a better experience for candidates. And with Bright Apply, that future is already here. So if you'd like to be a part of that with us, whether as an early adopter or simply to hear more, come and speak to us because we would love to talk.